could feel the ache in my chest that kept bringing tears to my eyes. I told myself to keep them down. I had to be strong. I had to do this. There are people we look up to in life, mentors, who are more than just a teacher or a guidance counselor. They're there when we need advice, when we need a helping hand, or even when we just need a friend. But just like friends, they can hurt us. Their words have the power to be as sharp as a knife, breaking the trust that we so strongly believed in. The letter by Chapell Chumley shares a brief look into how this kind of hurt can affect us and the importance of knowing who is really there for you. I waited by the brightly lit office, my legs cold as I sat on a metal bench next to the brick wall. People continuously walked by as my hands were shaking. I could feel the ache in my chest that kept bringing tears to my eyes. I told myself to keep them down. I had to be strong. I had to do this. I eagerly waited for my dad's car to finally pull up so he could walk through the glass doors and comfort me before I had to do something I was dreading. I sat waiting on my dad to walk through the doors for almost 20 minutes, giving me enough time to doubt, to tell myself that it's not that important, that much worse had been done to others. Whenever I couldn't hold it together, I walked to the bathroom. I spent several minutes crying in the bathroom, then would spend several minutes on the hard wooden benches looking at the trophy case. As I looked, I saw her trophy. It made me realize what I was up against. I began to cry again. "Mr. Dobbs is ready whenever your father gets here," the secretary told me. I nodded my head, not looking up, but I could still see her sympathetic gaze staring at me. I felt weak. I felt like someone who needed to be protected. But I know that in reality, I was doing this to protect myself. As I waited, I wondered how it had gotten to this point. How had my senior year been ruined by one woman? One teacher who was supposed to be my mentor. Someone that I had looked up to for 3 years. Didn't take long to remember all the lies, the insults, the humiliation, the isolation. I still remember how excited I was when she told me that there was a spot for me in the choir. How thankful I was for her to give me a chance when I didn't feel like I knew anything. But over the course of the year, I could tell she regretted her decision. When she lied about me to other students, or when she would always isolate me from the others when I had a conflict with rehearsals. The one that hurt me the most was when she went to the administrator and my dad to tell them that I was one of the worst students she had ever taught. It was insane. I remembered feeling so lonely. The people who I thought were my friends turned their heads at me. I remembered how humiliated I felt every day that I walked into that classroom. My best friend of 3 years wouldn't look me in the eye. When we talked about my circumstance, she would blame me, saying that Dr. Williams would never hurt me in the way I was claiming. My friends saw me crying almost every day and would ignore it because they didn't want to face the reality that their teacher was attacking me. I was startled by a vibration in my pocket. It was a text from my mom telling me that she was proud. Usually this would have made anybody feel better, but for me it just made the tears come back. Seeing her say that she was so proud of my bravery and how I was standing up for myself, I couldn't hold the tears back. I still felt so weak. I stood to head to the bathroom once more, but before I could make it inside, my dad walked in the building. He spotted me as a tear rolled down my cheek and ran to comfort me. When his arms were wrapped around me, I felt something that I hadn't felt for a long time. I felt supported. My dad was next to me the whole time. Whenever I could feel the tears prick at my eyes, I looked at him and I knew that it was okay. I kept reading a prepared statement outlining all the mean words, all the hateful actions. I read with as much conviction as I could muster to ensure he heard me. Every single word. When the meeting was over, I walked out of that meeting with my head held high. I know that there are plenty more battles to go through as this semester is not close to being over. I'm terrified. I know that no matter what happens, My friends wouldn't back me up. For the longest time, she was their teacher and friend. I knew that the only people that would fight for me would be my parents.